Wamuratha is my name, the County Member of Parliament, Kiambu. I possibly would just want to ask the CS just one question, whether this issue has a political goodwill from the politicians. Because from the look of it, when you look at a majority of our people in the security in national government are from that region. And the other thing, we also have leaders, politicians that are elected in those counties. Now, what I'm asking myself is there a time when these people sit together? Because today, I live in Roiro, and if you ask me something about Gatuanyaga, which is the farthest end of Kiambu, I'll only need to go to the ground, and I will tell you what is happening. Those things that Kenyans call mambo kwa ground ni tofauti. I'm assuming the politicians in these areas know what is happening. Bwana CS, I would only want to ask, is there goodwill from our politicians and our leaders who are majority in the security team in this country are from that region? Are we seeing a foreplay in the security area, even in our people, having a majority of them in security and having a number of them in parliament and in the Senate? Yet we are looking very helpless and we are with them around here. What are they telling us? Because they know mambo kwa ground ni tofauti na vile tunaona.
Thank you, Honorable Maungu.
Thank you so much, Chair. Bwana CS, thank you for your presentation. I think, to me, this must be the second horrifying statement that you've read in the recent past, apart from the Shakahola cases that we heard of recent. The life of teachers, from what you've just presented, is at risk. And sad to note that this has been the case for the last 10 years or so. You know, we may not be able to do the same thing the same way and expect to have different results. For the last 10 years, your predecessor was always loud that these are the strategies they applied. And to that extent, nothing much was achieved. You've taken up with a lot of motivation, but your presentation this morning appears to be someone who is almost losing hope with the kind of exposure you are getting out there. My question is, what is it that you intend to do different, apart from what you've given us? Because what I'm seeing here is what your predecessor used to declare, and boldly so, that will make this country safer. Teachers in Northeastern have actually, they are living in trauma. I can imagine that a teacher, after having taught through the day, will need to hide somewhere for the night or for the evening so as to appear tomorrow morning in a class and teach our kids. I tend to imagine that there's more to it than we know. Just to agree with the Honorable Member for Kiambu, the local leadership. In Rwanda, where I come from, in areas, we are in a safe area, yes. But nothing can happen without the local leadership, the local village elders, or the Nyumba Kumi knowing what is it that is happening. But it appears that Northeastern is such a different area because the local leadership seems not to know, or they are playing as if not to know. What has your ministry done to ensure that this leadership, right from the Nyumba Kumi all to the county governor and what have you, have been brought on board to ensure that these deaths and the trauma and the exposure given to our teachers is actually taken care of? Secondly, someone said, Bwana CS, that if it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and quacks like one, then it is one. We need to hear more from the leadership of that area about the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Waziri, you can answer those questions. You have a question?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I have my...
Questions, Abdul?
I will ask just two questions.
Yes, specific and straight away.
Waziri, you talked about the specialized units that we need to come up with to deal with this security issue. And I know the government had established the SIPU, the Critical Infrastructure Police Unit. Is it possible to establish a specific police unit whose mandate is just to protect our schools and teachers? Or if that's not possible, is it possible to give the teachers in secure areas licensed guns so that they can protect themselves at the hour of need. Finally, you talked about the MNOs and the discussions you're having in terms of ensuring that the telephone masts that help in connectivity are not pulled down. As yesterday, the mast you talked about that the NPRs tried to protect, but they were overpowered and damaged a little bit. The Safaricom had sent the engineer there to pull it down and take it away instead of repairing it to. So your answer is that they are trying to repair it, but the information we have as from yesterday is they are pulling it away. And they did the same to another area called Bohol 11 when an incident happened about 2 years ago. So that's a matter I think that needs, because if we do this, Al-Shabaab attacks, we either pull out our police or we pull.
Especially on the issue of the schools are opening just a month away. They are just closing this week. In a month's time, these teachers have been stigmatized. Knowing that their colleague was shot within their range, they saw them being heal them psychologically. And two, on the same note, that the teachers are to report back in those particular regions. You know, that is part of our republic. Every Kenyan has a right to work there. What actual measures have you put in place to know that teacher A, teacher B, teacher C is safe, sound, and he can carry out these duties? And if he can't, then what is your advice on this? The Honorable Mbaka, reintroduce yourself and ask the question.
Okay, my name is Christian Mbaka, MP for Siaya, and a member of this committee. I have just one question. I'm wondering whether you do have enough police force deployed in the area, northeastern. Are they enough or are they too few? If they're too few, would you need much more, including the Air Force? Because we need to combine forces to deal with insecurity there. Maybe the police that are posted there are too few and you need more, or even if they are more and they're helpless, they cannot handle the insecurity effectively, do they need an added hand, like the Air Force should come and patrol the area at night and in the day? They keep flying over to check if the area is safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Waziri. Now proceed with those questions.
Thank you, Chair. The allegation that 60% of any county in Kenya is controlled by Al-Shabaab is false, is not true, and is not the position of the government. Chair, with regard to the issue of formed units, a question was asked whether we need more of these units. We don't need. I think what we need to organize is the deployment and perhaps the equipment. Generally, Kenya has enough police officers. By way of example, members may want to know our current strength, which is around 110,000 police officers for a country of 53 million, is not a very bad ratio. If you compare, for example, with our neighbor, one of our neighbors, Tanzania, a country of 64 million people, their strength is around 46,000 police officers. 46,000 against 64 million. We have 52, 53 million, 110,000. So we are not doing badly.
What is the UN standard, Waziri?
It's 1 officer to 450, and we are approaching there. We are around 600. We are approaching there.
That's good, yes.
Yeah. Chair, we cannot direct TSC. That's not our business. TSC is an independent commission under Chapter 15. What we do is they recommend to TSC. We do security assessment, and then we recommend the way we recommend to clients, other clients, including yourselves. Politicians, you're also our clients. So we can recommend and tell you, Mheshimiwa, here it's not safe for you. This is what you should do. It's up to you. But when the threat reaches a certain threshold, we can then impose mandatory security measures for purposes of public safety. So we encourage TSC to engage with us and other stakeholders to engage with us, give us the needs and how they want those needs resolved. But at the moment, we cannot, for example, issue a directive to TSC that you must do this to teachers, you must transfer this number of teachers. We'll be violating the constitutional principles of independent institutions. But I agree, if we assess the threats to our teachers in that area and think that perhaps we need to take compulsory security measures, we will do so without hesitation in the national interest. One of the members said that the minister looks hopeless. Nothing can be further from the truth than that. They say where there is a will, there is a way. The problems we are having in Northeastern are not impossible to tackle. That starts from there. They are not impossible to tackle. This country has enough wherewithal with a little bit of enhancement and coordination. We have enough strength, enough wherewithal, enough sophistication to neuter that threat. And therefore, I remain very optimistic that we will succeed. A question was asked how many people we have brought to book. We have brought to book very many people. But you see, and I don't know whether, Chair, your committee has visited some of these areas. Should go and spend time there. The member from Wajir there, Mandera South, will tell you, if you spend a day or two in that area, your mindset will change forever. In this sense.
Before members visit there, you need your assurance. Yes, and the security.
It is part of Kenya. You should visit.
No, first of all,
you should visit.
I, being a committee member, Chair, in 2012, we did visit after the Gwari attack, and it was a very, very traumatizing situation.
Should visit so that you see where those teachers teach and where they spend.
But members can be a premium target for Al-Shabaab, so we need to.
I hope the teachers are not watching these proceedings. Yes. because, and I believe, Chair, with a lot of respect, that's where we go wrong. If our teachers are there, our members of parliament should go there. The minister must go there. Everybody must go there. Otherwise, we are telling our teachers that we have condemned them to go there and die. The reason I go to visit my officers there is because they are there, they are working there, so the minister must go there. And I expect every other person, heads of agencies, TSC heads, other people, the question should be, can we be facilitated to go there? The question should not be, we cannot go there, because then we are sending the wrong message to our teachers.
We are telling you, we are ready to go there under your
where is the request?
Security. We shall give you a security.
Very well. Thank you, Chair. Other than that, I think we have... Chair, I am happy to report, actually, despite the few evil successes by terrorists. We have neutralized thousands, hundreds of threats. And many of them are not reported because of the nature of the operation, because these are armed operations. As we speak, we had an attack yesterday, I said, at the intersection of Lamu and Tana River, where the public was attacked by over 60 armed terrorists in different groups. And the target was to hurt very many people. Now that operation has been going on since yesterday. And I can report we have neutralized all those threats. All the people who attacked our people yesterday have been neutralized. All of them. All of them. So we cannot.
Maybe just for clarification, when you know, for us now we are lay people. When you talk of neutralization, what do you mean? Arrested? What do you mean? Just for us to understand.
It means the threats don't exist anymore. Because these were people who are targeting to harm passengers in 4 different buses, which was carrying a total of 200 people. As I said, luckily,